Stephanie, why is it less to fly from St. Louis to Rome through New York than it is to just fly to New York?
Because Ryan, airfare is not priced like a normal product. It's not like pizza. You cannot look at one
For sure.
slice and compare it to another slice and assume that the bigger slice costs more.
That's super dumb. That is
It
painful.
is.
I mean, the larger slice should cost more. The longer plane ride should cost more. That's
Hmm.
the moral order of the universe.
I get you, but airlines don't care about your moral pizza system. They care about demand, fare classes, seats left in inventory, corporate traffic, timing, route competition, and how badly people want that flight.
Yeah, so today we're talking about the lies people believe about airfare, the Tuesday myth, basic economy, nonstop versus direct, skip lagging,
Mhm.
hidden fees, and why the cheapest flight is not usually the smartest flight.
That's right. And we're going to do it all without making you guys feel dumb at all because this system is super confusing on purpose.
Yeah, you're not dumb. The system is dumb.
Is dumb.
If you ever stared at flight options and thought, why does this make no sense at all?
No sense.
This episode is definitely for you.
Welcome back to One Slice at a Time. I'm Stephanie Picosta, a travel advisor that specializes in big multi generational family trips.
I enjoy travel advisor specializing in group trips, exotic destinations, and helping people take the most Instagrammable vacations of their life. Now, speaking of Instagrammable, did you listen to
Mhm.
last week's episode where I told you about my recent trip to Tahiti? You need to go back and hear me talk about jet skiing around Bora Bora.
So today is episode one of our three-part air travel series, and we're going to talk about the truth about modern air travel. This first episode is going to be about booking flights and understanding what you are actually buying.
Because most people think they are buying a seat from point A to point B, and that is partially true. But they are also
Mhm.
buying rules, restrictions, baggage policies, chain terms, seat access, boarding order, small bags of peanuts and pretzels, and a drink service, and maybe not a drink service, and a voucher for a drink, and
Right.
alcohol and wine, and all the things.
Hmm.
Recovery options if something goes wrong.
Yeah. And that's the big point. Airfare is not just one thing, guys. Two people can be sitting in the same row on the same plane, eat the same tiny bag of pretzels, and have completely different ticket rules.
Same toppings, different cost.
Yes, for sure. Our first pizza pun. We're going to pace ourselves today, guys.
Yeah, lucky it took this long.
So let's start with one of the common questions that people ask about airfare. When is the best time to book these flights?
I know. I know. It's that magical Tuesday at
Magic.
2:14
And
a.m. when you're facing
we
the
create
east.
magic, but yeah.
You're facing the east, standing downwind of a freshly baked pizza. That is the time to get the best deal on airfare, right?
Right? Sure. Guys, this is where we have to be honest. There's no single perfect booking day anymore. Airlines price flights using demand, remaining inventory, route popularity, season, competition, historical patterns, and a whole lot of live data that is being fed into and evaluated by an AI driven pricing system around the clock.
Dynamic pricing. That
Yes.
doesn't mean that timing is irrelevant. It means the old advice is just too simple. If you're traveling
Mhm.
over Christmas or spring break or Thanksgiving, a school break, or a popular resort destination, waiting for some secret day can and may very well
Well,
backfire.
exactly. I like people to start watching those flights earlier than they think, especially if your dates are fixed. For
Yeah.
international flights, you want an even longer lead time. But the real rule is this: once you see a flight that fits your needs and the price is comfortable, don't play chicken with the airline.
Yeah, because the fare you saw at breakfast may be gone by lunch.
For sure. And Pete's Pals, that does not mean the airline is messing with you personally. It usually does not anyway. Sometimes I feel like they are, but okay. It often means that the lower fare bucket sold out, the demand changed, or the system repriced.
It was funny, on last week's episode, we were talking about Tahiti and how I was
Mhm.
able to fly in the day before the cruise,
Right.
but by the time some people were ready to book their airfare, there were no more flights. So
Hmm.
that goes to Stephanie's point of book it kind of when you're comfortable with the price. Don't wait around.
Sure.
Uh, So do hear this clearly, though. Google Flights is not a crystal ball. It is a
Nope.
tool. Price tracking is helpful, but it cannot promise the lowest possible fare.
No, it cannot. And screenshots are not reservations, guys. Looking at a flight is not holding a flight. Until something is booked, they have your credit card number and you have your confirmation number. You do not truly have it.
Yeah, that booked versus ticketed point really does matter. I had people
Mhm.
last winter that were flying to Jamaica in February and hoping the prices would go down on tickets
Right.
after Christmas, and they didn't. They went up, so they ended up
Hmm.
paying more. Booked means the space is held. Ticketed means payment went through and the airline issued a ticket
Right.
number. That is when the ticket is real.
For sure. And if you're working with a travel advisor or a tour operator for your whole vacation package, the holds may expire and the fare may change. So, inventory can and does disappear. I don't remember the last time that I was on a flight that wasn't completely sold out. How about
No
you,
kidding.
Ryan?
No kidding. Yeah, that happens pretty much every time, every flight.
Hmm.
So, Pizza Palace, have you ever found a great flight, waited to ask 12 family members what they thought, and then watched the
Right.
price jump? That's not bad luck. That's reality. That's what happens.
It's,
That's the
it
difference
is.
between today, right now, and 6 hours from now. The price jumps dynamically.
For group trips, guys, this matters even more. Trying to get 10, 20, or 30 people on the same flights at the same price is just not the same as booking one seat. And I honestly don't even think I would recommend a large group all being on the same flights anyway, because one thing happens to that flight and the whole group is not going on vacation.
Yeah, plus, if they don't get along, man, imagine how bad it's going to be for
Yeah.
everybody
Ugh,
else.
ugh.
And the other thing is, you are never going to get the same price for person one as person seven.
Mhm.
The
No.
price will go up after that many
Right.
people have purchased a seat. So just understand that the pricing is going to change if you're trying to book for a lot of
Hmm.
people. Here's my tip. If you get familiar with the terms associated with the ticket you're buying, you can
Right.
modify to a lower price if you see it come along. Do not wait out the clock trying to get the best deal.
For sure.
So let's get into this spicy part. Basic economy. I'm never booking
Guys,
this.
this is where I I get very firm. Basic economy is not just economy with a lower price. It is a very much more restrictive product that the airline is selling you.
So I'm going to challenge you, Stephanie. Is basic economy ever not terrible?
I mean, if you're a solo traveler, you're on a short domestic flight, you're carrying only a personal item with no need to change the ticket, you understand the restrictions, then yes, it can make sense.
Okay. You're layering in a lot of expertise here. Very, very narrow situation where you might choose a
Hmm.
basic.
Basic
Also, if you don't
economy.
care about collecting miles, because often basic economy doesn't give you
No
miles.
miles. Hmm.
Um, it exists for the extremely frugal traveler that does not care about
Right.
comforts. People,
Or any need to change anything because
yeah.
these fares also comes with restrictions where there is no change, there is no refund. You have a seat on that airplane somewhere because you don't get to pick your seat. You can wear the clothes on your back and maybe carry a small personal item. And hopefully
And
you
you're
don't need anything.
and you're also going to be the first to get bumped if it's oversold.
Oh, that's right. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep. And for
Let's
families,
see.
all of this can be a disaster. If you care about sitting with your child, Do not
Right.
assume the airline's just going to fix that for free at the gate.
No, I would never send any of my families on a basic economy fare if at all possible. And if so, they're going to definitely understand
Yeah.
why they should not be in basic economy with their toddlers.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't build a family vacation on hope and a gate agent miracle because hope is not a seating strategy.
It is not. It is not. And if there's an aircraft change, you still need to recheck the seats. Seats can move, rows can change. A plane swap can undo what looked perfect at booking.
Yeah. Uh, I'll tell you, it's happened to me where I have opened my Delta app and seen that I'm in a middle seat, and I'm like, I never,
Mhm.
ever in a million years would have booked that. It's because
Right.
the planes got swapped and somehow that happened. And then
It's
they
happened, yeah.
have to hear from me. But basic economy, you're going to be in a middle seat every time.
Oh, for sure.
Now we're seeing airlines slice fares even more. Delta has been moving towards more fare and experience combinations. Southwest has moved away entirely from their original identity. The old
Right.
open seating thing that has gone away.
Gone. Bye-bye.
Yeah. They're following the rest of the airline industry, becoming more and
Mhm.
more itemized.
And Southwest is a great example because travelers built expectations around that brand, open seating, simple fares, bags included. And when that changed, consumers had to relearn how to compare that pricing with what they were seeing with other major brands.
Which brings us to a major point. You can't even compare only on base
No.
fares anymore. You have to
Nope.
compare total cost. And honestly, what's an economy on United might be different than an economy on American
Right.
Airlines. So
Because
you
you're
really
talking,
have to dig
mhm,
into these things.
you do. Seat fees, bag fees, carry on fees, flexibility, the connection risk, the arrival time, the airport choice. It all matters when you're looking at these fares.
That's when a $320 flight can become a $470 flight very quickly once you add bags and seats and other things.
Yep. And a $470 flight with better timing, assigned seats, and fewer risk might actually be the better value.
This is the pizza box lesson. You do not just ask how cheap the slice is, you ask whether it comes burned, cold, missing half the toppings, 10-inch, 14
Right.
inch. Are we getting a 10-inch pie inside of an 18-inch box?
Yes, exactly.
We really stretched
Let's
on that
talk
metaphor.
let's talk about a term that I hear people use incorrectly all the time. Direct flight.
Yeah, people use direct and nonstop sort of interchangeably, but they are slightly different.
Yeah, they are not the same thing. A nonstop flight goes from point A to point B without stopping. A direct flight, it might stop along the way, but you usually stay on the same plane and keep the same flight number. So a connecting flight is going to mean you change planes. The direct flight, you may stop somewhere, but you don't get off the plane and your flight number doesn't change.
This means that someone might say, I booked a direct flight, thinking
Hmm.
there's no stops. Then the plane
Right.
lands somewhere and they're asking, why are we at Nashville? I didn't book
Right.
this.
Yeah.
Didn't plan on going to the Opry today.
Exactly. And with connections, you need to think beyond what the airline technically allows. A legal connection is not always a comfortable connection. And I've got a little tip for you here, guys. In the US, we have the poorest traveler protection for any kind of air travel. There's very few rules and responsibilities that the airline owes to us, the traveler, and they will book connections that you cannot possibly make.
Yeah, I learned this long ago. 45 minutes in Atlanta is a missed
Mhm.
connection. 20 minutes in
Yeah.
Charlotte or Philadelphia, those are missed connections. But
Yep.
the airlines do sell them. So it's one of my
Oh,
biggest
yeah.
concerns whenever, people are booking. Like, yeah, the website might offer it and it might be offered for
Mhm.
$20 less. Or you might get in, it might be teasing you with you're going to get in at 2 p.m.
Mhm.
instead of 4:30. But
Right.
juice is not
Heh,
worth the
you're not gonna
squeeze.
make it at all with that connection.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially like think about it. If you're a family, you've got a stroller, a
Mhm.
bunch of kids, and a tight departure like that.
Right.
Chances are, if you have a whole family, you didn't book first class. So you're not going to be the first ones off the plane to run to your
Right.
connecting gate. You're going to be, say, row 30, which means that plane lands, gets to the gate. You've got 25, 30 minutes to get to the next gate. You've got 25, 30 minutes before you get off the plane.
Right. And guys, this becomes even more important. We're talking about domestic flights. Internationally, you guys have to get off the plane, sometimes grab your luggage before you're, back on your last leg of the trip and go through customs. So always book very comfortable connections, 3, 4 hours, I would say, on those international flights. And guys, like international flights, the further your trip is from being recoverable, the more buffer you need. So a misconnection on a weekend getaway, that's annoying. A misconnection before a river cruise, a safari, a big group trip, or an international tour, that's extremely costly.
Then Codeshares add another layer. You may buy the ticket from one airline,
Right.
but fly on another airline. The operating
Yes,
carrier is the one flying the plane.
that's right. This affects check-in, baggage rules, seatings, lounge access, and who you need to talk to if there's some sort of disruption in your travel plans.
Do not take my lounge away. Do not want to be, I don't want to be out there with the
We don't want to
noise.
be between Ryan and his lounge.
So when someone says I booked Delta, but the flight's operated by
Right.
KLM or whatever, that
It's a
matters.
big
It's like
difference.
it's a tiny
Mhm.
footnote on the booking process, but it does make a huge
Right.
difference when you arrive at the airport.
And mixed itineraries can be risky too. So if you're on separate tickets, changing airlines midway, collecting bags, switching airports, or self-connecting, you may not be protected the same way if the first flight is delayed.
Yeah, the cheaper fare can be real, but the risk is also real. And honestly, we don't mean to scare you with any of this. We're trying to equip
No.
you with some tools to look at when you're booking
Right.
flights,
Yes, that's right.
especially if it's not part of a vacation that we're doing and you're something you're doing on your own. We want you to at least have
Yep.
some knowledge of what's going on and what are some of the
Right. Feel
things that we
prepared.
think about when we're booking as
We're
part of
doing this for our
vacations.
clients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about skiplagging because it's pretty much a swear word in terms of flights.
Skip lagging or hidden city ticketing is when someone books a flight with a connection, but they get off in the connecting city instead of on the final leg because the ticket was actually cheaper. We want to fly from St. Louis to Orlando, but we don't really want to go to Orlando. We get off in Atlanta and stay there.
The consumer argument here is super understandable. I get it. I know
Hmm.
what you're saying. It was cheaper for me to book from St. Louis to Orlando and get off
Go
in Atlanta than it was for me just to book St. Louis to Atlanta.
St. Louis to Orlando.
I get it. I get it.
Then we understand the frustration, but airlines generally consider it a violation of their terms. They can cancel the rest of your itinerary. This is not going to work with any check bags, and repeat use can lead to penalties or even getting banned from certain airlines.
Yeah, there's been whole news stories about people getting straight up banned from
Mm,
major airlines. Can you imagine, like,
right.
if you were banned from a Delta, American, or United and you were a citizen of the US? That
You're never going anywhere
really
again.
restricts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Our advice is, skip the, I know it's the moral outrage here, but don't do it.
Hmm. And as advisors, we're not building client trips on tips and tricks for a little bit of a cheaper air price. Let's just pause and talk a little bit about what Ryan and I actually do as travel advisors.
Because this is exactly where professional planning matters. When we're putting a vacation together for people, we're not just looking for the lowest airfare. We look at
Mm-mm.
risk, timing, connection points, baggage, family seating, supplier rules, cruise timing, and what happens if the first plan fails. And we communicate that with our customers and we talk to them about all of these things and help them make the
Mhm.
most informed choice about the flight that they choose.
That's right. For families, multi-generational trips, I mean, cruises, group trips, you're going to Europe, a safari, any other major milestone travel, flight choices can really make or break those trips.
So, a good advisor can help you avoid choices that might look okay on paper or online, but are fragile choices in real life.
If you guys are planning a trip with us, you want help, looking through flights, hotels, transfers, insurance, the whole experience. That is what Ryan and I do. We help you decipher the air travel so it works the best for your trip that we are booking for you.
Hey, what about our Crusty review? Is it time to talk about pizza?
Yeah. Ryan's waited long enough talking about air travel. Let's get into pizza.
Seriously, there's like nothing more stressful than air travel. Let's talk about
Oh, it's the
pizza.
worst part of vacation.
Oh, I always say I love to travel, but I hate traveling. Okay, now Fort Lauderdale. Let's talk about that. It's a hot spot for cruises. People fly into Fort
Mhm.
Lauderdale all the time. They get a one-night hotel stay, then take a cruise out, or they might do like a beach stay in Fort Lauderdale. Well,
Right.
I just did a conference at Pier 66, which is a hotel in
Mhm.
Fort Lauderdale, and I have to say, I've stayed at a lot of bad hotels in Fort Lauderdale,
Mhm.
but Pier 66 is a nice hotel. Really nice. It's like kind of place where like they insist on walking you to your room so that they can give
I
you
love
an
it.
orientation of the hotel. It's the
Mhm.
kind of hotel that you walk into the bathroom, and no kidding, this happened. The toilet seat lifts itself. Like
What?
it is a nice hotel. So that gives you sets you the expectations. So what do? I look at that room service menu as soon as I get in there, and I see that it has a pepperoni pizza on there. So
Ooh.
a couple of clicks on my cell phone, and $65 later, I have a pizza and a key
This
lime.
is a
I
nice
also,
hotel, guys.
yeah, this is what happens with room service at nice hotels.
Right.
The pizza was like $25, and then I got a key lime pie that was
Mhm.
16, and then it was
Right.
a delivery fee and a gratuity added on already, and it was
Mhm.
up there around $60. But here's the thing. The pizza was
Mhm.
pretty okay. I mean, it was not like
All right.
I went to a pizzeria and got like a great pizza, but for
Right.
room service pizza, hey, this was not Pizza Fari. This was not Pizza Rizzo. This was not that puffy crap. It was
It
better
wasn't
than,
microwaved.
yeah, and it wasn't delivered by Domino's. This was a decent pizza, and they brought it in on a little cart with the white tablecloth and
Mhm.
everything, and it had the little metal thing they had to take off. It was great. It was great. And then I pushed a
Love
little
it.
button when I was done, and they came and collected all those dishes so they didn't have to sit in my room. So I liked it.
All right. How many slices though? Give me a
Oh, out of eight. How about a Pure
Mhm.
66, 6.6 on the on the slice
Oh,
rate?
I like it. A 6.6 on the slicer
Yeah.
rating. I think this is
Yes.
mostly for the experience of the room service pizza.
Yeah.
He's got a thing for that. Go back and listen to the episode about Scenic Opal.
Well, here, listen. I tried it the first night, and I thought it was pretty good,
Mhm.
but I had to validate. So on
Sure. Yeah.
my 2 night hotel stay, I did do it twice.
That was
So
good enough for 6.6 then.
yeah, and $120 on pizza.
This sounds like your Pizza Hut experience.
Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah, that was pretty bad too. The pricing.
So, speaking of price, we want you to not just look at the price when you're buying airfare. Stop and ask yourself these questions.
Which will I enjoy the $65 pizza that came to my room automatically?
I don't think
Just
that's one of
kidding.
the
Just
questions
kidding.
that with
That wasn't
airfare.
one of the questions, but it's a good start. How about this? We're talking about flights. Do I know what fare type I'm buying?
Yeah. Can I select seats now? And do I need to select seats? How much more is it to select seats with this fare?
Are my bags included? Or can I add them on right now? Or will I have to pay for them at the gate?
Mhm. Is this a nonstop flight, a direct flight, or a connecting flight?
Is the connection realistic?
Mhm. Is it comfortable? If I miss this flight, what happens the rest of my vacation? What happens the rest of my trip? Can I recover it?
Yes. Can I take the next flight? Is there a next flight?
Mhm.
Am I
Right.
arriving early enough for a cruise, tour, major event?
Big one here, guys. Do these passengers' names match their government ID or passports? Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So
Exactly.
your Mike's Your Michaels can't be Mike. Your Jeffries can't
Mm.
be Jeff.
If you're a
Your
junior, you better have it on there.
There you go.
If it's
All the
on your
things.
passport or on your ID, it better be exactly like that on your ticket.
And then back to like the whole fare, the understanding your
Mhm.
fare things. Do you understand the change, cancellation, and
Right.
refund rules associated with your air? And one more. Am I buying this because it truly is the best choice, or
Mhm.
because the first number that I saw on the screen was the lowest?
Right. Yep. And that's key because the cheapest airfare can be smart in very few situations, but it can be. But cheap without context can cost you your whole trip.
Yeah, you might be in the middle seat with no bags, getting
Yeah.
bumped to the next middle seat on the next flight.
Yeah. I
All
tell
the
you what, guys,
things.
like Brian and I, like this airfare really, air travel, the airport, all this stuff is the worst part of the vacation.
Yes.
Like we get it, right? We love to travel. We hate the act of traveling,
Right.
just like you said. So, you know, don't make it any harder on yourself than it has to be. That's really what this to
Yeah.
save $50 a person, right? Like
Yeah.
why, you know.
I mean, the big lesson is that airfare and airlines and air, all that stuff, it's not simple. It's not one clean
No.
product. You're not wrong for being
Um,
confused. Airlines have made fares
yeah.
more broken apart, more conditional, and more difficult to compare.
But once you understand what you need to look for, you can at least make some smarter choices. The
Yeah, the
goal
goals.
is don't
Yeah,
overpay,
go ahead.
right? Ever. The
Yeah.
goal is to understand what you're buying and what risk are going to come with it. So now, something that takes no risk whatsoever, and you don't have to purchase a thing. If you love this show, make sure you subscribe so you never miss this episode.
Better yet, go subscribe to our newsletter at extracheese.fun.
Even more better, send us an email at bookings@oneslicepod.com and we can help you plan your incredible vacations.
Is that like better?
Brr, 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 brr. Now, Ryan, are you going to have something better than room service pizza tonight? I think it's becoming a thing with you.
All right. So here's the thing. I live 2 hours from Fort Lauderdale. I could go
Uh,
probably get a room at the Pier 66 and then spend whatever money it costs for the room. And then also, I got a local pizza place that I'll probably hit up tonight.
I think that's probably the wiser decision. The
Yeah.
cheapest one does win in this case.
But it's not going to be basic economy pizza. Nope.
No,
Nope.
not that.
Nope. 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 It's not going to say Tony's and come from the frozen food aisle. Although I'd take it in a pinch.
Right. I
Not
mean,
proud.
sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
All right, pizza pals. Until next time, keep traveling the world.
One slice at a time.
Have a good week. Bye.
Bye.